So we have Cardoso's positive for EPO Trek team. Sprite go vegan. Cardoso ping for EPO. My thoughts on that. Just reading Phil Gaiman's blog. Is that how you say it? Gaiman? Phil, the guy, the ex-Cannondale rider, Draft Pack, Slipstream, Jonathan Borders, cast aside. He was talking a bit about it. I'll share my thoughts on it. How would you get caught for EPO? It's really hard to get caught for EPO. It's an out of test on June 18th. So it's about the time you do a 4 to 6 week window of EPO leading up for the Tour de France, so you can punch out some big numbers so you can do your job as a proper domestic. I mean, why do you have a job as a pro cyclist if you can't support your team leader when it matters in the Tour de France? All right, this is a race where you have to finish every stage. You can't just not a one-day race where you can maybe ride half natty, full natty, pull out the 80k mark. This is a race where every day you have to be up front doing your GC domestic work. So you need the EPO. You just need it. You need to have that hemoglobin up 180, 200. You need that. You need the saline bags to dilute it down to stay under the radar a bit. So he's just doing his job as a professional cyclist. I'm surprised that Phil is critical of someone like that, but he's not critical of Tom Danielson. It's like Tommy D on the US Postal train. I mean, but he's critical of Mancebo for winning the Sunset Stage at Redlands this year. I mean, it's like, hey, Mancebo was like one same gen. Like, how can you be critical of Mancebo but give Tommy D the green light? Like, Phil, man, it doesn't make any sense at all. Anyway, for those noobs out there who don't know what EPO is a natural hormone produced by your kidneys. It stimulates your red blood cell production from your bone marrow, essentially. So it's going to increase your red blood cell production, which means you're just breathing so easy when you're pushing out 300, 400, 500 watts or whatever you're doing. You just breathe. You can work a lot harder for longer. About 10% harder for twice as long. Tyler Hamilton quote. So, I mean, I've been racing for close to 20 years on the bike, you know. Got my first road bike in 1997, and I've had friends take EPO, and I've been able to tell they've been on EPO. And I've asked them, like, come on, man, like, what's going on? And they're like, yeah. So I can spot EPO just by looking at someone. All right, I won't mention any names, but I saw recently a little bit of suspicious riding up the doy, you know, like, and I've got a power meter on my bike, so I can sort of see what's going on. But that's another story. So it's EPO. You get about a 2-week window where you're pinging, all right, where you're doing close to 6 watts per kilo for half an hour is a good test for EPO usage. And here's the thing with this blood test, all right? It's so easy to pass an EPO blood test. You use it, you know, intravenously, low units. And I think half time's maybe about 4 hours or so. So the testing window is generally from 10 p.m. at night to 8 a.m. in the morning. So if you started at 10:01 p.m., you know, IV the little bit of EPO there, and by the morning you should be cleared. Just make sure your first urine or whatever is just dilute as fuck. Never give your first urine in the morning. But so you just drink lots of water overnight, do a saline bag if you need to, dilute the shit out of everything, you're good to go. So I'm surprised that he got caught. Maybe he missed the vein, you know, there's always that chance. The EPO test came out in about 2000. Dr. Ferrari took about half an hour to get a workaround, you know. So the drug testing's a joke. What you got to look at is fucking power. Watts per kilo, alright? Again, this is Ferrari's solution to it. Drug testing's a joke. Just look at your watts per kilo. If you're doing 6 watts per kilo, you know, especially in a stage race, then something's up, alright? So Phil is talking all this dribble. He's got the clean tattoo on his arm and all that's all good, mate. But like, the ultimate drug test is watts per kilo. It's the hour record power. You know, like Jiffy bag, suspicious package from Wiggle, like 471 watts for the hour. Please explain. Please explain, Pauline Hanson. So we have all this nonsense. I don't think Cardo's a cheat. I think he's doing what the sponsors want. And that is a high-level performance. This is essentially Lance Armstrong's old team, Trek. Trek is a company that I rate as a product. I've got Trek bikes, but Trek essentially ditched Lance Armstrong once people knew about the truth. So Contador doesn't have the best record, and Contador is a professional rider though. He's a professional of a professional, so he understands what it takes to win GC, and that's what it takes, man. You got to have insane watts per kilo, and nobody's doing that full natty bra. So why are people so surprised and so critical when someone like Cardoso gets pinged? He's just a domestic, he's just a worker. He's a work dog, a workhorse. He's just a guy, he's got kids, he's got a family. He wants to be a professional cyclist, he wants to put food on the table. He's from Portugal, maybe doesn't have any other options, but he knows how to ride a bike, he knows how to suffer. And he's willing to put his health on the line and take these pharmaceutical products to help you do this crazy cyborg watts per kilo. All right, and here's the thing: people say, "Oh, Cardoso's a cheat. Everyone else is clean. He's a cheat." If he was a fucking cheat, you don't understand how fit these professional riders are. How good they are in the bunch. They know how to stand. They know how to do a draft. They know how to think. If Cardoso is the only one on EPO, that means if someone like the top dogs on EPO, we'd be talking 8 watts per kilo. You know, we're doing 8 watts per kilo for 30 minutes at the end of the stage. If they were clean now, natty. So it's just a joke that people think that anything's changed. Nothing's changed. All that's changed is we'll get rid of these scapegoats like Cardoso to make the top guys look more natty, and it helps the image of the sport. This is professional sport. Professional sport is aggressive exercise funded by money to make more money. There's scapegoats. There's people that just, throw. I didn't even know who Cardoso was until today. All right, he's not a big rider, but what it will do is it will give the media some attention. Now the media just runs around looking for a story. I know all about the media, online, real world, whatever. Media's always just scraping the barrel for some sort of story, some sort of drama to get some clicks, sell some YouTube stuff or subscribers or newspapers or whatever. They're looking for any story. So now the pack will go from Froome, Sky to like, who's this Cardoso guy? What's his background? Where's he live? What does his dog look like? Is there any traffic fines, parking tickets? Like, this witch hunt goes on and on and on. Meanwhile, in fucking rugby, meanwhile in soccer, meanwhile in swimming, meanwhile Thorpe's is shooting up, God knows what the fuck he's shooting up, Nasso drugs. You know what I mean? Like, meanwhile, the world forgets about all the other sports, professional sports, which are dirtier than cycling are. Cycling's probably one of the cleanest. But all these other sports, tennis, I mean, look at Serena Williams. I mean, come on, what's going on there, man? She's got arms 3 times as big as me, and ain't from swinging a fucking tennis racket. Anyway, that's enough. I don't think Cardoso's a cheat. I think he's just doing what he had to do as a professional. And if you're not willing to do the full gas, then teams aren't really interested in what you're going to do. Maybe they'll give you a little signing for a year, but unless you're really ready to make that step up to the true professional ranks. A difference between a professional and a professional amateur is a professional will do whatever it fucking takes to get the job done. An amateur will go, oh, I'm not going to put that in my body, I'm going to leave it from there. That's good. Do that. That's your choice. But that's not professional. Because professional is about making motherfucking money. Making it rain. You ain't making nothing rain if you're full natty bra. Alright? You're getting some pocket money. You're getting a 1-year contract at best. If you want to make it fucking rain, then you got to get in the gear. That's just how it is. And that's professional. I don't think it's right. I don't agree with it. But that's professionalism. Alright? Doing whatever it takes to get the job done. Cardoso's not a cheat. He's just a symptom of a fucked up system.